Prepping by the numbers. 5 ways to save money on your preps. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. We all are on a budget, right? Money doesn't grow on trees. So we have to make wise choices when we are preparing. We want to prepare, but we are all working within constraints of a budget. So today I want to talk about some ways, some places to go, some things to do to save money and to maximize your preparedness efforts. This is very important in today's day and age, especially with increased prices, with inflation, with shortages, all this stuff going on. It is vitally important that we up our preparedness game. But we're also doing so, a lot of people are doing so, with less money at their disposal because of they're paying more at the pumps, they're paying more at the grocery stores, they may be paying more in rent, property taxes, other taxes, etc. We're all bombarded by these things. We all have to live within society, basically now, still. I advocate removing ourselves from society as much as possible. But the fact remains, we're still reliant upon the system as it may be. So, before I get into the 5 things, we hit 30,000 subscribers. Yay! Woohoo! Now let's double it. Tell everybody about the channel. No, seriously. Tell everybody about the channel. And subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Share the videos. Comment below. Tell everybody about prepping. But do so in a way that it doesn't turn them off. And check us out on Patreon. Links in the description below. Awesome stuff there. Be part of Team AP. Exclusive stuff. It's awesome there. I love it. And I don't have to talk in parables. All right, enough of that stuff. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. 5 ways to save money in prepping. Some of these are obvious. I hope that I plant a seed and this helps at least 1, if not 1,000 people or 50,000 people. Anyway, okay, what's an obvious one? Well, it's obvious to me. It's summer, right? What are people doing more now because it's summer and the weather's nice? Yard sales, garage sales. Hey, I know a lot of it is junk, but you can find a lot of useful items at garage sales. I haven't been garage selling in years, but I remember it was a good source for camping equipment, tools, hand tools, woodworking tools, stuff like that, as well as gardening tools and or clothing for little ones. It all depends on what people are selling and where they are. I found good books, toys, yeah, for the kids, but yard sales and garage sales. It does take time to do this, but you can get some good deals. You can save some money on your preps. I know people that have found defensive tools at yard sales and or seeds, both kinds. Mainly the freedom seed type. You'll never know what you're going to find there. And piggybacking off of that, yard sales and garage sales, what's another one that's one of my favorites? Thrift stores. Thrift stores, so thrift stores is number 2, I guess. Thrift stores are great. There's a lot of them out there. There's the big ones. There's Goodwill. There's St. Vincent de Paul. There's Salvation Army. There's Deseret Industries. And then there's all the little, there's the big ones that I know of. And then there's the little ones that are local, you know, faith-based organizations and or charitable organizations that just run local ones. Kind of like local food banks. But great source. Some of them I like less than others. St. Vincent de Paul. Yeah, I had a thing there with them wanting to violate my free will and being a faith-based organization. I didn't appreciate that, so I won't be going back there. And Goodwill, I get it. They're not a non-profit. They're a for-profit organization. And whether or not, sometimes they're really proud of their stuff. I really like a couple local ones. And I really like Deseret Industries. It's run by the LDS Church. the thing is the closest one to me is quite a drive, like an hour and a half drive. And so that's like, that's quite a drive just to go thrifting. If we happen to be in the area, we'll hit it up because, man, I'll tell you what, LDS people, I don't know if you guys know, but they have a lot of kids. So if you're looking for baby stuff, baby clothing and stuff like that, a lot of it's brand new, the tag's still on of it. A lot of it's just really good quality. And it's like, what was it, 50, I remember like 50 cents for like a onesie or a little outfit or something like that, instead of $5, $6, $10, $15. Great source, and their prices are really good. And from all the research I've done, the proceeds and everything like that, they actually go to do good in this world. And there's probably a lot of other ones. There's a local one that is really close to me that I really like, also same thing. They are a small place and they get a lot of donations. So what they do is they pare it down into the really good stuff, and then they donate the other stuff to the larger charitable organizations like Goodwill or whatever. So they have really good stuff. I've scored really good there. Okay, so we all know about thrift stores. What's another one? Well, I just mentioned it actually. Food banks. Hey, it's there. It's a resource. And it's not going to the government for a handout saying, please may I. These are organizations that are faith-based. A lot of them are faith-based or just community-based organizations that are there to help people. And if you're struggling with things, you can go get food there. And a lot of it is if you get a little extra or you don't need everything they give you, canned goods, dry goods, stuff like that, set that aside for your food storage. And it's not taking advantage of the system. It's not taking from others. It is a resource that is there for people's use. And a lot of the stuff, I've talked with them. I've thought about volunteering a local one. I go down there, I help them out sometimes, working with them. And a lot of the stuff, especially the produce and other things, go bad. They throw out a lot of stuff because people aren't coming and getting it. So check that out. You don't want it to go to waste. Why have it go to waste? And the ones that I know of, don't have to give any personal information, just your name, how many people in your house, maybe like an address, or I don't know. A lot of them, they just try to keep it on the, down low as much as possible because they realize, people may be embarrassed going there, which you shouldn't be. It's a resource. It's a really good resource for you. So what's another one? Another one is estate sales and or auctions, auction houses. Auction houses, not so much, because a lot of people that go there know the value of stuff, so you may not get as good a deal. But estate sales are really good. I know a buddy of mine that went to an estate sale and got a whole bunch of defensive tools. Not a lot of them were tactically oriented, but a lot of defensive tools. That was really good. You never know, same thing like that, what you're going to find there. And I think, let me see, that's like 3, 4, so number 5, one I love. You probably haven't heard of it. That's why I saved it for last. So if you're still here in this part of the video, this one's for you. DRMO. You know what that is? Defense Reutilization Material Office, I think it is. It's the Defense Department getting rid of stuff that they don't need anymore. The military. You can buy vehicles, you can buy Humvees, you can buy deuce and a halves, you can buy all different kinds of military vehicles. Obviously, you're not going to buy a tank. But you can order those from like Russia or Ukraine or wherever over there overseas, demilitarized, but they'll ship you a tank, like a T-72. You can buy armored personnel carriers. They're a lot of money and a lot of shipping, but hey, DRMO auctions, they have public auctions. You can go on their website. There's also different, look up military surplus auctions or stuff like that, because there's another website that kind of runs all that stuff, and you can look in your local state, or you can look in neighboring states, stuff like that. And it's all, like last time I went on there, it's online, so you build a profile online, you bid online, and usually the pictures are pretty decent. But yeah, you can buy vehicles, you can buy pallets of, sometimes it's pallets of computer screens, sometimes it's pallets of tactical gear, sometimes it's pallets of uniforms, sometimes it's pallets of, vehicle parts, whatever it is. Go through there and see the things that you're interested in that you can help you in what you need to prepare. understanding the fact that this is military used stuff. Some of it is, less than useful. You're going to end up with some stuff that is junk. But by and far, I know people that have had great scores. I personally haven't actually ever done it, but I've worked with people that did. I went through the auction. I watched them do the auction. I went down there with them, helped them pick it up, stuff like that. Back in the day, DRMO, before it went online, I don't even know, 20 years ago, whatever it was, my buddy went down to Fort Lewis and bid on an auction. The auction said Jeep, and it just shows a picture of this big wooden box. And he was like, okay, I don't know, maybe it's a Jeep in a box or something. Like the military never assembled it. What they did was, so he bid I think he bid $50, minimum bid, $50. Well, he was like, I probably won't get it, whatever. What he did, he went on there and he bought gauges, equipment like gauges, like readout gauges. He'd buy them for next to nothing. And then what he'd do is he'd contact the companies that made those gauges, and they would buy them from him so they could refurbish them and sell them back to the military, making a whole bunch of money for themselves. And he would get pennies on the dollar, but some of these were expensive gauges. And so he used to make good money doing that, and it was completely legal. So anyway, he got a phone call a couple weeks later, and they said, hey, we got your Jeeps. Where do you want them? And he's like, wait a sec. You just said 2 plural words, Jeeps and them. And they're like, yeah, it's a lot of 50. No, I didn't stutter. And no, you're right. I would not believe this had I not seen it with my own 2 eyes. He had 50 brand new Jeeps, military Jeeps, the old Willys ones, that had never been assembled. They were in crates from the Vietnam or from the Korean War. They'd never even been assembled, brand new. He had them stacked in his backyard. He had them stacked in his front yard. He had them stacked in his side yard. He had them stacked in his neighbor's property. What he did, he built one, he assembled one stock. He assembled one, tricked it out for 4-wheeling. And then he kept, I think, 2 in the box, and then he sold the rest for anywhere between, $500 to $1,000 or more even maybe. I don't even remember. He made a whole bunch of money and scored. There are those scores out there. So these are the sources. You got yard sales and garage sales. You got thrift stores. You got estate sales and auctions. You got food pantries, food banks, and you have DRMO. Those should get you started down the right path of saving money in your preparedness journey. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said before, please subscribe if you want to help out the channel. The little thanks in the heart, hit that, donate some money, help us out. Trying to stay on top of equipment before it fails, trying to get, new content, trying to get better stuff so that I can put out better quality products for you guys. Anyway, I love you guys very much. Keep on prepping. This is an important time. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you and yours.